called it when there was a chapter or a meeting. I don't know. Right, now we're going to go look at how far that is. Tiny little light at the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel. God, aren't we all searching for that? Right, now here we go. There's a list of the members of the Hellfire Club in 1762. So I'll only read out a few that people may know. Right, Sir Francis Dashwood, who was a Lord Le Despencer. Paul Whitehead, the aforementioned poet and steward. Earl of Sandwich, who will get a mention a bit later on. You got, who else down the bottom? Arthur Van Sittart, who's going to be mentioned again. Or was it Sir Henry, I think? Yeah. Right, you've got George Selwyn, who's a famous MP. John Wilkes again. We've got William Hogarth, the painter, who's quite local to West Wickham. Pretty much it. Lots and lots of MPs. They're all, you know, they was dodgy back then as they are now. Don't know how many Satanists there are in Parliament these days, but you never know, do you? Or do they get up to a lot worse? Right, so I'm going to read out this little bit of a poem. Okay. Right. Apparently there's a secret cave or passage leading to a cave somewhere. It says, take 20 steps and rest a while, then take a pick and find a stile. Where once I did my love beguile. 'Twas 22 in Dashwood's time, perhaps to hide this cell divine, where lay my love in peace sublime. And there's another poem by Churchill. I think he was on the list, wasn't he? Right, under the temple lay a cave made by some guilty coward slave, whose actions feared a rebuke, a maze of intricate and winding ways, not to be found without a clue, one passage only, known to few, in paths direct, led to a cell, where fraud in secret loved to dwell, with all her tools and slaves about her, nor fear lest honesty should rout her. And it strikes a chord with me, not saying why, but anyway, above it is 22 in Roman numerals. So, a bit of a mystery as to why we've got 22 carved in the wall, and the poem is 20 steps. It's a mystery. So anyway, I'm going to attach the address of the wiki page and also the Hellfire Caves homepage. Give you a little bit more information on the place. Right. This is all downhill. So, like I said, I'll rush back up here to redo the video because the mic wasn't on for the first one. Anyway, it's a bit uneven, so I'm wobbling about a bit. Sorry about that. I'm getting a lot better at actually holding the camera straight. Anyway, on the right we've got Benjamin Franklin. On the left, I don't know who that is. Is that Francis Dashwood without his flash clothes on? Don't know, but we'll go around to this side. As you can see, the walls, hopefully picking this up, the walls have been replaced and with fresh rocks and mortar. It's a bit thin here, a bit narrow. So there's old Franklin again. Well. To be honest, the recordings are a bit annoying.
I visited the caves in 1772. He wrote afterwards.
Right, got this sign here. It says, in the catacombs, Benjamin Franklin often stayed at West Wickham Park and known to have visited the caves in 1772. He was clearly impressed with what he saw what he saw for, he wrote afterwards to a friend in Philadelphia. The exquisite sense of classical design, charmingly reproduced by Sir Francis Dashwood at West Wickham, whimsical and playful, sometimes may be its imagery, but inasmuch evident below the earth as above it. As above, so below, as the saying goes.
You can see the splendid buildings in Venice without a photo of them, and there are few cities to equal Petersburg.
We could have gone left or right up there, but that's where the right one comes out. Right, now, here we have Suki, the spurned bride, come back as a ghost. Obviously, spurned women are there to haunt us, whether they're dead or alive. Right, children of the caves, in the caves. So George Dashwood with his sister from original paintings in the house about 1800. Right, so doesn't actually. So that's Mary, who was the sister of George, and it's actually look cute. But I'm not sure about the makeup. Did they put makeup on kids in those days? It's a bit scary, isn't it? Right, now we're about to approach the first really cool bit. Going downstairs, downstairs, down a big hill. Try not to slip on the gravel. Here we go. We've got it's not too high, so I'm stooping a little bit instead of being stupid. Right, quick panoramic, then I'll go through everything here. Right. Got some nice classical music in the background. I'm not sure who it is. Right, so we go around in the opposite direction. We've got some lady who's covered in moss. I don't know. There's no plaques or anything to tell you who these statues are or carved by, which is a bit annoying, to be honest. Now, here we go. Now that is the mausoleum on the right, and the church of St. Lawrence up at the top of the hill. We'll be visiting both those a bit later on. Unless I have a heart attack going up the big hill, which I nearly did last time. I have another statue. It's a man with a sword riding a lion. I don't know if that's metaphorical or not. I suppose most art was in those days. So we are actually in the banqueting hall, and that's sort of a reproduction or reconstruction of a banquet. There would have been a table in the middle, big round table. Right. I'll just read the first paragraph of this bit. It says, although the caves in West Wickham seem to have been open to visitors since they were built in 1748, no one besides the locals knew about them, and they can only have attracted a small number of visitors. Many years of neglect had left them in a terrible state. Small lumps of chalk and huge boulders had blocked tunnels and filled the river Styx. Now, obviously back in 1748 there was no internet, no word getting out about this place. And also West Wickham is quite 3 miles away from actual Wickham, but Wickham wasn't that big in those days anyway, so it's fairly isolated. So we've got another statue. Is it, I don't know who it is, maybe Aphrodite. As I said, it's annoying that there's no plaques telling you who these statues are. Right, we've got some coins that were excavated in, I think it was 73. Yeah, April 1st, 1973. Right, so I found a lump of chalk with all these coins embedded in it. Now, I'm not a geologist, so I don't know how chalk is formed. It's something to do with water flow, I'm not sure. So obviously chalk was formed around these coins, and they were found in this super duper banqueting hall. So that, I would